What's up guys, with Barrier to Entry, I'm Edmund J, and today we're going to be talking about this beautiful piece of machinery, the Yamaha MG10XU. The MG10XU features 10 channels, 4 mic inputs, phantom power, and 24 built-in special effects. So as you can see, the MG10XU is a pretty powerful unit, but let's get to those knobs and buttons. Starting from the bottom, we have the level knob. Turn it up to turn the volume up, or turn it down to turn the volume down. Next we have the pan knob, which, if you're just recording your voice, isn't all that important. Set it to the center and forget about it. Where it gets interesting is if you're doing something like recording multiple guitars. If they were both set to center, the sound would mesh together and sound horrible. If we pan them away from each other, we'll get much better results. Next up, we have the FX knob. This knob controls the volume and intensity of the special effects you choose in the effects panel. We'll get to this a little later. From there we have the lows, mids, and highs. These knobs allow you to control the level of specific frequencies in order to make things like bassy notes higher, or if you want to make those high notes pop, or if you want the vocal range to be the focal point. If you're just recording your voice, you might want to boost the mids. Playing around with these knobs can also reduce background noise. For example, I have a fish tank in the background and the filter was making a loud, low whirr while recording this. So I bumped the lows back just a tad, and now you can't hear it, I hope. Next we have the comp knob, which stands for compressor. Yamaha specializes in single knob compressors, and it's actually a really cool feature. As we know, while you're recording, you might move around in your chair a fair bit. If your comp knob is all the way down to 0, you'll hear a significant change in volume based off the distance to the mic. The comp knob mitigates that, so you can move back and forth and get a similar sound from reasonable distances. And now we have the gain knob. Gain boosts the transmission power of the signal and is the first control that the raw mic signal sees. Setting your gain properly and boosting the signal to a level high enough so the rest of the mic controls can work properly is critical to effective sound production. Let's say you're recording something really loud and you have the gain knob turned all the way down, but the sound coming in is just too hot. The pad button exists for this situation. Turn it on and it'll cut the intensity of the signal coming into the preamp, making it far more manageable. Don't use this if you're just recording your voice. And finally we have the HPF button, which stands for high pass filter. This cuts out frequencies below a certain threshold, removing deep bassy rumbles and grumbles from your signal entirely. If you're using a microphone to record your voice, you'll want the high pass filter on. In a situation where you have bass drums or bass guitars, go ahead and turn it off. Near the center of your board, you have the phantom button. This supplies power to channels 1 to 4. If you're using a dynamic cardioid microphone, you typically do not need to supply phantom power, although it won't hurt your mic if you do. Make sure to read the documentation supplied with your microphone to see if you need to use phantom power or not. The MG10XU also has two-way USB capabilities. If you're using USB sound, make sure to have the button pressed down. The effects panel is probably one of the cooler features of the MG10XU, supplying live effects processing to the sound output. Choose an effect with the program knob, then push the knob down to select it. Once it's selected, make sure the FX knob we discussed earlier is turned up on the desired channel. Once you're sure of that, push the FX on button. From there, you can play with the parameter knob to change the sound of the effect. To connect the MG10XU to your computer, attach the supplied USB cable to the back of the unit and then plug it in directly to your PC. Do not use a USB hub. When you turn the MG10XU on, if you're using Windows, it will likely automatically install drivers. Go to Yamaha's website anyway and download the newest version of the drivers, just to be safe. In order to get sound recording, you'll need a digital audio workstation. I recommend using Audacity if you're looking for something free. Otherwise, your unit should come with a code to download Cubase. Cubase setup is simple and you can follow the directions on Yamaha's website in order to get rolling with that. If you're using Audacity, set the microphone input to the line the MGXU is on and set it to stereo. Set your output device to whatever you want the sound to play out of. Since I don't have studio monitors just yet, I've set mine to play from my computer speakers. Thanks for watching the quick little primer on the Yamaha MG10XU. I hope that it helped in whatever endeavors you're going after. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And, if you would be so kind, leave a comment down below and let me know what you want next on Barrier to Entry. Thanks.